Fluffy the Squirrel's Great Winter Preparation. Once upon a time, in a vast forest filled with mighty oak trees reaching up to the sky, there lived a tiny but very hard-working squirrel named Fluffy. His reddish fur sparkled under the sunlight, his fluffy tail danced with the wind, and his little eyes were always searching for something. Fluffy spent his days leaping from branch to branch, sometimes chasing butterflies, sometimes racing sparrows by the riverbank. But what he loved most was finding acorns. To Fluffy, acorns were not just food, they were his treasure, the key to surviving the cold, harsh winter. One day, the wind began to paint the leaves yellow. As he heard the crisp sound of leaves falling, Fluffy looked up to the sky and said, "So winter is coming. Time to get ready." All the other animals of the forest were busy too. The hedgehogs were searching for safe burrows. The birds were preparing for their long journeys south. The bears were eating as much as they could before hibernation. But Fluffy's job was different. He had to gather acorns, carry them to his nest, and even bury some to give back to nature. Fluffy woke up early one morning. He climbed the tallest oak tree with a flick of his tail. "Here they are. The biggest acorns," he cheered. He grabbed them with his tiny paws, stuffed them into his cheek pouches, and ran home quickly. Sometimes he hid acorns between branches. Sometimes he buried them in the ground and covered them with leaves. But he hid so many that when spring arrived, he couldn't find them all. The forgotten ones sprouted into young oak trees. One day, the wise old owl told him, "Fluffy, you're helping the forest grow without even realizing it. Every acorn you forget is a new life." Fluffy puffed up his tail proudly. "So I'm working not just for myself, but for the whole forest." One curious sparrow once asked him, "Fluffy, I always see you gnawing on something, even when you're not hungry. Why do you do that?" Fluffy laughed. "Because we squirrels belong to the rodent family. Our teeth grow all the time like fingernails. If we don't gnaw, they'll grow too long and we won't be able to eat. So I chew on nuts, branches, and acorns to keep them short. It's my dental care." The sparrow's eyes widened. "So gnawing isn't just for fun, it's for your health." Fluffy nodded. "Exactly. Without strong teeth, I couldn't crack a single acorn in winter." The wise owl joined the conversation. Squirrels are very important to nature. By hiding acorns, they help grow new trees. By gnawing on branches, they make space for new shoots to grow. That's how the forest stays young and alive. Fluffy's heart swelled with pride. Even though he was small, knowing he helped the great forest made him happy. Days passed, the wind grew colder. One morning, Fluffy peeked out of his nest and saw the entire forest covered in white. Winter is here, he said excitedly. Finding food in winter was tough. But Fluffy wasn't worried. He had worked hard all summer and autumn. He wrapped his fluffy tail around himself like a blanket and sat snugly in his cozy nest, crunching on his stored acorns while snowstorms raged outside. All winter long, the other animals admired Fluffy's effort. The little rabbits learned to save food. The sparrows learned that seeds could become new trees. One day, Fluffy stood on a rock and told his friends, "I may be small, but I play a big role in nature. Hiding acorns isn't just for me, it's for the future of our forest. Gnawing isn't just for fun, it keeps me healthy. And when we live in harmony with nature, the forest thanks us back." All the animals clapped their paws, flapped their wings, and sang around him in joy. Winter ended, the sun smiled through the branches. Snow melted, streams filled with water. Fluffy came out to check his hidden acorns. But he found something amazing. The ones he had forgotten had sprouted. Tiny oak seedlings swayed gently in the breeze. Fluffy's eyes sparkled with tears. "So I've given the forest new children." The wise owl hooted softly. "Yes, Fluffy. You're not just a squirrel, you're the forest's little guardian." From that day on, Fluffy worked with even greater joy. Every acorn he carried felt like a promise. Every bite reminded him of his strength. And all the young animals of the forest learned a beautiful truth. Even the smallest creature can play a big part in nature's balance. Fluffy puffed up his tail proudly and whispered to the sky, "I'm Fluffy, small in size but big in heart. A little helper of nature.